All right, I don't know. We're just starting recording. Muskie in the bag, dude.
No way that just happened.
Dude. It's a tanker.
No way that just happened.
Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely
boys and girls,
crushed
welcome back to Past the Freaking Barb.
Let's go, baby. Woo!
Oh, we're so close to getting that all live.
Oh. We seriously
Dude,
just
boy, we
logged
just
in
got
right
one,
now.
bud.
Ryan is obviously coming at you from the boat. And I was like, oh, are you out fishing? He's like, full moon, baby, duh. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
man. Dude. Sorry, I'm a little hyped up at the moment. But we got the dude. Yeah, I know. We got one, dude. Good job. We
Ryan,
yeah.
tell everybody what's going on.
Kick this off. Kick this off. Give us a situation here.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back to another episode of Past the Barb. Me and the boys just started recording this bad boy. I decided to get the setup in the boat out on the lake. And like 30 minutes into the first spot, just stuck a toad on a chatterbait, dude. I'm hyped up right now. Oh, good. The boat that just ran over my spot's coming back, so that's sick. Yeah, just hucking a chatterbait. I think, did we get the hooks out yet? No. All right, here. TJ's gonna hold this. Got my buddy in town from Washington. What's up, dude?
Let's go.
All right, let's see what we got.
Shout out, TJ.
Yeah. That's a good one, dude. Oh, cool. Come on, brother. This is the first ever Past the Barb live on the water, but you want to go up there and hit spot lock, dude? It's the button with the anchor on it on the front. There.
What a way to kick off Past the Barb from the boat.
So I'm just gonna say, I think Cody Hunter ditched tonight because it's the full moon, so we could go fish on Green Bay. But you know your boy out here getting it done. All right, I'll show you guys off real quick. It's a spotted, pretty lit. Oh, there we go, boys.
Oh yes, dude. Yes, dude.
Right. Back in the net. We're gonna deal with that fish. You guys gonna have to let it rip, but big chatter dog, baby.
Oh,
boom. First spot. Tonight's
That
just
is
getting
freaking
rolling.
electric.
We're on, dude.
Let me plug my headphones in here. Okay.
All right. Sorry for the entry hype there, but what are the odds of that? You were literally just saying, what if you hook one, dude? How am I going to start recording? And I was like, I don't know. I literally was fighting it, and I leaned down to hit record on my laptop.
When you did that, I was like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, dude.
Oh, we needed to do that. No doubt, dude. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, that other boat is chewing up the bottom here. So they're just driving 3 feet solid weeds. He bit me really good. Check that out.
The new
Little blood for
fingerless
the Past
gloves
the Barb
too.
Nation. Dude, I was like, I'm gonna break these in tonight. So anyway, what are you boys up to?
Unbelievable. We'll let Ryan get some photos with that
All right,
fish.
I'm gonna put myself on mute here because there's gonna be a little hype going down. You guys take her away.
You definitely, yeah. Wow. I hope we get to see the release.
What an introduction, huh, Sobe?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Past the Barb. We've got a hell of an episode for you tonight. We've got, family members coming in from the lake, new family members back from Alaska, and a lot to talk about. Will, give them something. Give them something. I'm almost at a loss for words.
Well, Sam, I think this just reiterates the point here that we are the #1 outdoors podcast in the world. You're only going to get this type of stuff here. So it's good to be on top.
Absolutely. This is what the grind is all about. Buddy Ryan, he just got out for work. He knew he had a podcast tonight. And he's like, you know what? I'm going ski fishing and I'll do the pod. I can do both.
Yeah, it's a full moon. Ryan's out there not only fishing, but catching them. So it's good to be on the top, thanks to our sponsors, obviously. Thanks to the sponsors, of course.
Yeah, it's a lot of high dollar non-endemics. You guys know all of them. We won't even list them. We don't even need to list them.
We don't need to list them, but you know who they are, and we're thankful for them for all that they do, and financing these awesome trips that we do. But yeah, wow, that was so cool, man. We were so close to getting that on. I mean, the whole thing. When this comes out, people only see the fish in the net, but I mean, we had it all like pre-record, not recording, but we were queued up, and Ryan hooked that fish, and not a big deal. It's good that he landed the fish, but man, that was cool to watch. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was unreal. We were like supposed to all get on at like 8:00, and Ryan, like, of course, is even from the boat on time at 8. I show up at like 8:05, and I just see him out there winding. Will gets in, and we're not recording. He's like, fish. I'm like, bullshit.
No more than like a minute after I joined, he hooked that fish. That was pretty amazing. That was very cool.
I think the cool thing is he's gonna like tap back in here on the pod, and I think sometime tonight, I think there's a good shot they may get another.
They might get another. I mean, if that's any indication, that's a pretty good start to the evening. So,
wow, that was electric.
Makes me wishing I was muskie fishing. Damn.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, we're bumping it right now. So if any of you guys are listening on Spotify or iTunes or anything like that, definitely check out the YouTube video. Just type in Pass the Barb on YouTube and you'll be able to see what we're witnessing right now. We're witnessing like the straight up lift this bad girl from the net, and he's getting a photo.
This will be awesome. I hope in the picture they can see I'm sure he'll get like the laptop and all this stuff in it. Wow.
And I want you to know too, like anybody listening, Ryan is fishing in the metro. Like, he's not on Lake of the Woods. He's not, he's not on Lac Seul or up in Canada or anything like that. Like, he's dirty grinding in the metro. So that's impressive as hell.
On a Monday night.
Dang. Well, he's getting the measurement right now.
Bumping it. I'm going to guess. What do you think, Sam? I mean, it might be hard to say. I never got a great look at it. Low 40s.
All right, boys, checking back in. You got me?
Yeah, we got you, Ryan.
What did it bump, Ryan?
Yeah, here, I'll hold it up for you. I was just letting her kind of get her bearings here. Get one more quick lift for you boys. Right there, 42.5 incher.
I got
right there, baby. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, PTB Nation, let's go. Let's see if we can get a bigger one tonight.
Happy freaking days.
Spotted muskie, dude.
Salud.
She's just chilling in the net.
Oh my god.
Yeah, baby.
That's definitely our best intro of all time.
Let's go. Yeah,
that'll never be beat.
Yeah.
We just got some cool pics. I'm just gonna let her revive a little bit when we get the release. Hopefully I'll show you guys that. But
talk to the folks, Ryan, about what you're fishing, like what situation you're in right now.
So we're on the full moon tonight. It's like super moon, blue moon, whatever. I just did not want to miss fishing tonight. So I was like, we'll figure it out. But we're grinding shallow coontail. We're in like 3 feet of water fishing coontail clumps. I'm just burning around a big chatterbait. And I got TJ throwing a top water behind me. And literally first spot we came out. It's glass flat out, which is like, I didn't think going to be ideal, but that fish came right out of a coontail clump and just smashed that thing. And like, it ate it good. It had the whole bait down its mouth, but came out really good. And now we got the only other boat on the lake literally trolling circles around us about 30 yards away. But
was it on the far end of the cast, or was it pretty close to the boat?
It was about halfway back on the cast. I literally saw the fin come out of the water behind it. It rolled on it, and then the rod just loaded up. But
just wham.
Crazy, dude. So sick. So sick. I needed that one. Yeah.
That was.
I wish, like I said, I wish we'd have been recorded because that was nasty. We'd have got the whole thing. But I think we got the end of the fight there, at least, and maybe the net. But
we got the
sweating.
Landed the fish. That's what matters.
But we did it, boys. We did it, boys. Muskie live on the pod. Let's go. But I'm gonna get it released right now. Here, T, do you want to just hold it? We'll get it released.
Dirty metro grinding. Wow, where do we go from there?
And how about, and Sam, as you mentioned, how about the punctuality of Ryan Pinkalla? I mean, out fishing, but 8 o'clock, he's here before
us. You're gonna want to screenshot this one.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get it going.
Oh yeah, tip that laptop down. Oh yeah, we can see it.
Oh,
perfect.
that's so.
Oh my gosh.
Is that doing it for you, boys? That doing it for you? There she goes.
You are freaking awesome.
Back to the drink,
that was
brother.
Amazing, Ryan.
PTB. They did that for you. All right, we're gonna finish this spot out. I'll probably mute because we're gonna run to a different spot eventually, but let's get this thing going, boys. So, Stolski, I really want to hear about Alaska, dude. We don't have to get to it right now, but let the folks know. Did you just get back?
Yeah, I got back yesterday.
Hell yeah. Did I miss that? Did you already talk about that?
No,
blacked
no.
out,
We're,
sorry.
we're only 10 minutes in, Ryan. We got lots of time.
Oh yeah, we got nothing but time, and I'm just fired up to see what
just
unfolds
pumped.
with your night, dude. Like
Well,
that.
the fish is dealt with. We got tons.
Oh, I think you muted yourself, Ryan.
You're muted, Ryan.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, but yeah, so we're gonna probably fish at least well into the dark here. So at least for most of the pod, I think we'll be on here. Hell of a start. I don't know what to say.
About as
Like I
good
said,
as
we
it
just
gets.
got the pod rolling, but we just got out on the lake too, so that was cool. But yeah, boys, whip the old
See that
chatterbugger out.
The big chatterbait. I didn't even know those existed.
Why do you choose a big chatterbait opposed to like just burning a bucktail?
Because this one is a single-bladed chatterbait. Like it's a musky version of like a regular chatterbait.
Sure.
So this one comes through the weeds like one rip, and it comes right through those coontail clumps. It's pretty much what I'm fishing tonight. That, like 1, 2, that, and then this single hook bucktail, just so I can like fish through the junk. Because I was out here before, and it seemed like that was where the fish were sitting, and I literally had to go and buy different baits just to fish it. And
no troubles. The single hook.
both of them, yeah, both of them are just single hook, and that one had it buried right in the top of the face.
I like it.
All right. Sorry, this got derailed right away, but
Are you sweating? Because I'm sweating, dude. Just
dude, I'm been sweating. I've been
warm.
sweating.
I already drank my whole drink, Ryan.
I think I'm due for one, right? I think I just earned a drink.
I was, yeah.
Deal me
you
one.
earned a few.
Speaking of which, why don't we just kick this off with a brand new "What You've Been Drinking," boys?
Yeah, let's kick it off with a brand new "What You've Been Drinking."
That's the perfect time for that.
Kick it off.
So
Ryan.
I'll lead it off. These are straight out of Eau Claire or whatever. Look at this thing, the Brewing Project. Shout out the Brewing Project, running the mixed berry cheesecake.
Wow, what is that called? Chomp.
Chomp. It's a mixed berry cheesecake sour.
And
Wow.
what is TJ checking in with?
TJ, what are you running? He's running the Puff Tart XL. We're straight rolling tonight, boys. Like it's gonna get rowdy, I think.
Wow.
So these are heavy. This thing tastes like a freaking milkshake.
Wow.
But I have been on the rum and coke grind with the fishing that's been going down lately. But that was the first successful musky grind on the new beer. So
that's incredible.
So far, I might be drinking those for a while now.
Yeah,
I think they're lucky, no doubt.
What have you been drinking, Will?
I'm drinking, and this is really, I'm about due for another. I'm going to make one here soon, but it's called a Chilton. Have you heard of this before, Sam? You've ever drank a Chilton before?
No, I haven't. All in a Chilton.
So a Chilton is I was introduced to it from one of my buddies from Texas. I think it's sort of a West Texas type of thing, or probably all of Texas, I guess. All it is ice, of course, vodka, preferably Tito's. I'm a Tito's guy.
Yeah.
Squeeze about a half a lemon juice in there, and then top with Topo Chico, and then salt the rim. And it's really it's a great summertime beverage. When it's hot out, it's refreshing. It's sort of similar to like a ranch water, except instead of tequila, it's vodka, and instead of lime, it's lemon. But very tasty, refreshing, low cal. Good though. Highly recommended at Chilton. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah. And I love Topo Chico. Like
You are on that stuff heavy.
I buy the giant packs from Costco. It's the best, like mineral water, like sparkling water. Like, I drink it like constantly. It's so good. If you can get Topo, wherever you are, and I drink it without booze too. Like just, it's refreshing. I love Topo.
How do you spell it?
Topo Chico. Chico. Hold on a second. Let me just
Topo Chico. I can just hear TJ in the background burning that fat bastard.
Dude, he is. I got him running the trolling motor right now while I'm just kind of coming down from that. And
this is Topo right here. This is Topo Chico.
Oh yeah.
Get it at Costco, get it wherever. It's just like sparkling water, but it's heavily carbonated. It's got a lot of fizz to it, and it's awesome. I love it. That's what I
Yeah.
missed honestly the most when I was in Alaska was this.
Put that up to the screen. I just want to see the logo on that.
So they just straight up don't have it in Alaska, or what?
No, they don't have anything where I'm at in Alaska. Just like,
I suppose.
What was the drink of choice in Alaska? And it doesn't necessarily need to be from you, but like when customers came up there, just like your other pals, is there anything that people got on?
whatever you can fly in, where I'm working at it's a fly-in camp only. So you have to bring in all your own booze. I brought in, like, you basically have to fly up with a plastic bottle of something because you don't want it to break in your luggage, So I think I had yeah, that's a pro Alaska tip. So then you have to buy sort of cheaper stuff, which is fine. I was drinking like Jim Beam. I think I flew up with a little bit of JB. But I don't. When I'm up there, I'm basically sober, I guess, just because there's no access to stores or anything. It's kind of nice to dry out a little bit. Yeah, I would say just cheap whiskey is the drink of choice up there among the clients. It seems like, anyways.
Cheap whiskey. So okay, they're tearing down whiskey when they're knifing salmon.
The plastic bottle variation,
Do your clients tend to party it up pretty good while they're there?
Yeah, you get some. We do have this one group that comes in, and I've fished them a lot. They're very super successful, wealthy guys, and they actually ship in. They fly in cases of very expensive wine, like
really
$1,000 bottles type of wine.
$1,000 bottles of wine.
Yeah, and they ship it up there and put it on a float plane and get it to our camp. Those guys get after it. I mean, they love their wine. Now I tried $1,000 bottle. I like wine. I like vino, but I couldn't. $1,000, $100.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's almost all the same, except for like Boone's Farm or Barefoot or something. But
so
yeah,
I gotta ask this. So when you're indulging in some of this, are you like acting like you've been there before, or are you like, where's the spigot at?
with those guys, I've fished them a lot, so I can give them. I give them a hard time. I'll just like. Yeah. They'll give me the first glass and I'll just slug it. And one of them will be like, that's like, you just drank like $100 right there. I said, well, tasted the same as.
I think I'll have another.
You're like, sorry about it.
Yeah. Why don't you fill me back up? But yeah, those guys are probably like I would say they're sort of the pinnacle of like high dollar Alaska clients. Very nice guys too. Like I love fishing with them. They just really like good wine,
What do they do for work? If you're cool telling.
They are finance guys, private equity guys.
Nice.
Yeah, sort of big time PE. They've explained it to me what they do, and I still don't understand it. So it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, like high end finance. Yeah.
Yeah. The buying and selling of companies, and sort of that sort of realm. But good guys. They love Alaska. They come twice a year. They come for kings, and then they come for silvers. So I only see them during silvers when I'm up there. But yeah. High dollar wine for sure.
Dang, I like that. Well, I mean, I haven't been on.
What are you drinking?
Nothing like super unique. I'm right now. I'm actually enjoying a Moscow Mule, just little Gosling's ginger beer. It's just it's classic and
a
the
great
lime
summer drink. Nice, tremendous, perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It is perfect, dude. It's just refreshing, and it's just anything you just scored a little bit of lime into. And it's just like, it's light. I don't know. It's really, really good. So I've been just really riding the Moscow Mule deal. But I will say, especially now, kind of as we're approaching late summer, fall, I'm requesting. I'm shouting it out. I'm putting it out there to the universe. I'd like Busch Light to bring the Bapples back. Bring back the Busch Apples. I was a big fan. I was a huge fan. I really was. Did you not like them?
Me, not so much. I did like them for one or two, but I couldn't drink all that many of them.
Didn't it seem that they were hard to find though? Like when they were out?
Yeah, they were really hard to find.
Were they that popular, or was it just not that like widespread? Like I don't know.
I felt like I bought enough to keep serving them, but
maybe that's why I couldn't find it. You bought up all the local supply.
No, actually, like as they were talking about discontinuing them, people were all like, "Oh no, they're not." And I was the same way. I was like, "Oh, they're not going to discontinue them." And then I guess a bunch of people, like in the La Crosse area, Will
Yeah.
like bought up like pallets and stuff of them, and so I think
course.
they're still in circulation, but not. I mean, you can't buy them anywhere. I think Bemidji and La Crosse were like the last place to have them.
Oh
Right.
man.
So,
Well,
I want
yeah,
them back. It's my little guilty pleasure, and I want it back.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I will say this. I've only had a couple of them, so maybe I need to give them, more of a college try. But
I did like them. Like, I feel like the only place I ever had them was at your house, though. Like, straight up. Because you always had
You drank some of my personal supply, and now I'm sitting here on empty.
And they were ice cold in a cooler too. Like, I was probably like very well served there, and I
feel like they
took
got to
it for
be really
granted.
cold. It's like a
They
summer
were ice
candy.
cold,
Like, it's
dude.
got to be
They were
cold.
so good. Yeah,
Ice cold.
crisp.
Yeah,
Crisp.
Crisp is right.
Yeah.
Crisp is right.
And a reminder too, anybody watching, comment down below what you guys have been drinking, or if anything unique is passed across your desk. Just because the boys and I are always
We're
looking.
we're looking for the next soju. Like, we're really.
Yeah, we love
We're
a
on
good
the hunt.
cocktail, a good beer. Drop it in the comments, and we'll sample it. And let you know what we think. So,
Will, were you around for the soju episode, or were you in Alaska?
the soju episode wasn't that was like
Yeah, that was Cody's
That
gardening
might have been
drink.
like that was like mid Argentina, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think I was, but I feel like for some reason I remember it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I was on it, but maybe I listened to it. It could have been that.
Yeah. Well, that was incredible. But I'm on the hunt for the next one. Like, there's got to be more out there that.
Oh yeah, you're just getting started,
I'll try
right?
it. I'll try it in excess. All right. Well, I kind of I had a couple of messages on our Instagram, kind of about like some of the Bassmaster stuff that's been going on. I don't know if you guys got tuned into that at all from that St. Lawrence River tournament. And I guess first off, fantasy's over for the year. And Sam, you are the grand loser. Like, there's no easy way to put that.
How did the latter half of my roster just fail? Because I picked Chris Johnston and he won the whole deal. Like, how good of a lineup did Bart have?
Corey Johnson won the whole.
You're right. Yeah, Corey won the whole.
Which is still great. I mean, you got fourth. Like, you picked, one of the top five.
Yeah. Dang.
But I think you must have had some absolute anchors in there, dude, because I think you had under 1,000 points.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough to come back from.
Yeah, that was an epic fail on my end. Toward the end of the Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing, all four of us kind of compete against each other, and I was kind of like, I missed an event. I will put that out there in the universe. I did miss a whole event that I forgot to set my lineup, but Bart and I were battling. We were like week after week. I would take third. He would be in fourth. He'd take third. I'd be in fourth. And coming into this last one, I thought I kind of had a solid lineup. I'd even picked some clutch folks that I thought would grind hard and make the classic. And I think I freaking shit the bed a little bit. So now,
and I have the scoreboard in front of me here. So here's the final tally. So Cody Honor in first place with 19 points. Well done. He took 5 first place finishes this year.
Wow,
pretty heavy.
Cody.
That is heavy.
And I took second with 24. Barty Boy in third with 27, and Sam with 30. So I would say across the board it was fairly tight, like just the whole time. But yeah, dude, that last one did you in for sure because it was.
I would like to protest and get Cody polygraphed because I feel like he's getting outside information. I just think he's getting outside information. I think he's texting some of the folks in the field and he's seeing if they're on him or not. And that's determining his picks. Whatever. I was not in the race to beat Cody for first.
This is true.
Let's for those that weren't at the pod where we disclosed, this year the punishment was the loser of fantasy fishing would now be fishing a tournament using only Snoopy rods. And Sam, there's 2 Tourney Tuesdays left on the schedule.
There's 2 Tourney Tuesdays left on the schedule.
Conveniently waiting for. I mean, I guess that.
Where do you sit in the point standings there, Sam?
The Champs Tour Championship hanging out there too, bud.
That'd be electric. I just go to the Champions Tour Championship and just say, screw it, Noah Schultz. I'll beat you with a Snoopy rod for the brand new Skeeter.
And then win a Skeeter bass boat.
Well, I mean, it would do numbers for us, Sam. I mean, if you care about us, you know.
I mean, where do your allegiances lie, really?
Yeah,
Ryan just put the team on his back and put a freaking 42er in the boat to open this thing up.
Mean, I'm here for the thumbnail, you know.
What makes more money, Sam? This podcast or a new boat? I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We're flush with cash. I mean, the sponsors.
I should have one lined and rigged and ready. If like period 1 does not go well and it doesn't look like there's a win in sight, I should just take that out from the rod locker period 2.
I think that would be acceptable, Sam. I think
You don't think you're gonna get like 3-4 of them and like have them all rigged up on the deck?
I mean, yes,
I think that's the way to do it.
I think I'd like to enter some sort of a fall brawl or something around the house in September, and I'm gonna go there with 3 or 4 Snoopy rods. Fully
gotta
rigged.
have a whole set.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't matter what tournament. Just like it has to be a legitimate one. So
I'm a man of my word, and I will make it right.
That's good,
right.
Sam, because clearly I am not. So
yeah. Hey, I think that debt is still to be paid, brother.
Oh yeah, it's coming. Let me get back into playing shape here a little bit. And, you know,
yeah.
As
he tucks into another Topo Chico here.
Oh gosh.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's tasty.
So.
But yeah, can we touch on the drama just real quick?
Yeah. So let's.
I laid in bed this morning and got sort of clued into what was going on.
Okay, that's really cool. I wanna throw out there what I know because I don't know much, and then maybe that'll help you explain more, Will, because all I know is like on the interwebs after I kind of like, you know, played around for all of like 10 minutes. Obviously I saw JT Tompkins got disqualified, and then there was like wicked drama with the Johnston brothers and stuff like that. That is all I know. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh,
and
really?
Now clue me in.
Oh, you got to do a deep dive, Sobe. So, Ryan, you might know more than I do, Ryan, but I spent some time this morning about it.
I'll let you roll on it.
Here's I don't know much about the Tompkins thing, but we don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but this is all I know. So I was on this morning on Instagram. Yeah. I'm like looking at comments from the Bass Nation, you know, like because they posted the picture of the Johnson brothers. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, whatever. And everybody's just ripping on these guys, you know. I'm like, what's going on? Like no class, you know, all this stuff. And so then I like find this one Instagram account that posted like a screen recording of like a morning interview with one of the Johnstons. I don't know which one. I get them mixed up. The one that has the beard kind of goatee thing. And it's like in the morning before the tournament, and he's like pissed. He's like really mad. And Mercer's like interviewing him, you know, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I think I just might pull up right next to what's the guy's name? Robert G, right?
Yeah, Robert G or G.
He's like, G was like talking like shit on live. Like, I might just pull up right next to him and whatever. And so I guess that's what happened is he just like fished around him the whole day. And like, I don't know the whole thing, but everyone is like up in arms that basically like he like blocked G, and then so his brother could win. You know, basically like was on G's fish, and then like fished around him all day and like caught some of his, and then so his brother could win. Now I don't know. This is just all reading comments and watching, but like, dude, the Mercer video, like I think it's been deleted off of social media, except for this guy has a screen recording of it. I'll find it. But I mean, like the Johnston brothers really, really mad and like calls him the little Ewok Robert G.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
No. So like what
I didn't mute that, boys.
What provoked all this? Like what did Robert say or do? Or were they just mad?
Maybe he said some stuff and like apparently this spot, like I don't know much about St. Lawrence River. I don't know much about it at all, but
let me
like Ryan might know a little more. Maybe Ryan should
so let me jump in here. So the G Johnston drama started because after day one, G is leading, right?
Yeah.
Leading the tournament out of a kind of a community hole, right?
Okay, yeah,
and
that's what I gathered as well.
And so he's a young angler, right? Like not been on tour for, I think this is his rookie season. And so the Johnstons won out of that exact spot. Like I think the last time they fished there on the Elite Series, maybe. And so basically G's leading after the first day, and the Johnstons pull up to fish the spot. I think maybe it was after day 2, but either way, he was like, because he was leading the tournament, he's like, "You're not going to give me space," kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the comment, which was on Bass Live from the Johnstons, was, "Well, who do you think put this spot on the map?" To him, the spot. Okay, so then there was obviously some bad blood there, because he's like, this little punk kid basically is like literally fishing my spot, which was like, I think 80 miles from the takeoff point. So it's not like a spot that like everybody would have just found, right?
Ooh.
So it was like, he obviously did his research and like knew where it had been won before and like practiced there and fished there and everything. But that was kind of like the thing. Well, and then Corey Johnston pulls up and literally catches 29 pounds right in front of Robert G. Off of his own spot. And they were like kind of crowding around, but the deal was G had like invited, I think possibly Trey McKinney in to fish that spot. And then the Johnston brothers, you know, they kind of fish like as a team, right? So
yeah,
they both roll in there and they're just like, well, we're just taking this over basically. But that was kind of it. And then obviously the Johnstons pretty much rolled the thing. They went 1-4.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe blown out of proportion on social media more than it was.
People are really mad. I mean, people are the comments. Everyone is really, really worked up.
That's why I feel like something had to have happened on live or something that looked like, whoa, enough where people.
Here's the thing, and here's what I kind of like it, because it's kind of like NASCAR, you know, like,
yes, 100%.
You know, like, I think it's good. Like, let there be some chatter and some chirping, you know.
I like it too.
Maybe there's maybe a fight breaks out. That's good. I mean, it's, you know, come on.
And maybe that's why it's been like publicized, like for ratings, right? Like, they're thinking like
Ewok on Ewok.
Yeah, he did call him that little Ewok. I mean, it's hilarious. It's really funny. It's really funny.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there, and like a lot of it was actually on live. So like, I don't know if they archived that. Like, you can go back, but because the boats were so close together, like they were like literally talking beef during the tournament, like on live. Yes.
Wow.
I think. I mean, you know, I have no dog in the fight, but you know, I mean, it's competitive, you know, so why not? You know,
why not?
Why not?
And I just like that. That's some like pretty wicked cool dynamics. Like, there's a dude leading it versus the Johnstons, and this is kind of their dance floor. So it's just like, you know, it's,
you can't blame them because they're brothers, you know. So
yeah.
I'd have boxed them out for my brother too, but. I mean, people are really worked up. It's probably not all that big of a deal. Even I bet amongst the anglers, like, it's not that big of a deal at all. Probably just a bigger deal to the general public, you know?
Oh,
what do you guys think about that? Like, the Johnsons fishing as a team thing? Like, I mean, I think that's more common in like the walleye circuit and stuff, you know, where guys are like sharing info like during the derby kind of thing and all that. But like,
Ryan, you're a little muffled. It's a little bit muffled.
All right. What, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
That's way better.
All right. I must have just got too far from the thing here. I was just saying, what do you guys think about the Johnsons fishing like as a team, essentially? Like, I know that's more common in like the walleye circuit, you know.
I think it's
they do.
I think it's something that's going to become more popular. Like, there's going to be more. I mean, I think there are guys that do already, right? But is there?
No,
like,
I think the Johnsons are like one of the only ones where it's truly like a true team up. And what I mean by that is they split winnings. So like, you're going to give someone juice if they finish well and you're getting half their cash, and you're not going to hold out on shit if you're like, well, I have to, if I win this bitch, I literally split it. So like they split money. So that's
and they're literally fishing like the same spots, like boat to boat, like, you know, they'll pull up on something and both share it.
Yeah, which I actually think it's pretty lucrative and smart, because like there's different cliques and posses that roll around on the Elite Series or MLF, but like nobody's giving away everything. And if you think you're going to top 5 or win a tournament, like you're not being 100% truthful with your roommates or whoever you roll with or share a little info with. Like you're just not. But if you're, I mean, if you got half the money on the line and you're splitting coin, you're legit sharing waypoints and sharing all that. I think, yeah, maybe you will see it down the road, but you need to have like, I guess there's got to be competitors who feel like they're both equally as talented or kind of in the same realm.
Or
I think
brothers.
it's smart. Or brothers, yeah, like legit blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense for the Johnsons.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and they're both hammers too. Like it's, I mean, that's the other aspect of it. It's not like, oh, they're just like getting information from somebody and they're actually not that good. Like these guys can catch them.
No, they're superb. Like they're top tier. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the whole thing sort of, I don't think there's anything left to shake out. Like I think it'll, sort of blow over, but yeah, people are really mad in the comments, but it is what it is.
There's no rule against what they did, right?
No,
there's no rule that says you have to give the leader of the tournament space. There's no rule that says you can't fish a spot you heard about. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's been done a million times before. I think the only reason that people are so worked up about it is because it's two brothers that were sort of working in tandem. That's the only reason.
Well, and I think there was also some drama because it's like, dude, right? Like G is a southern guy, and you got two northern that slid in on him, and like, guys, but it was their spot too. Like whatever,
border battle.
I think his comment was savage. I think that's awesome. That he's like, yo, who put this on the map, bruh?
It's kind of savage. It's 80 miles from takeoff. Like, did you just find that in the 2 days?
Oh, you were just scanning? You were just scanning?
You're just scanning?
And I guess the spot was small. It was only like maybe like a 50-yard spot or maybe less. Like it was tiny little spot. So, but that's actually a good like segue into the other kind of drama with JT Tompkins though. So I don't know
what all went down there.
So, so I think, he gets DQ'd from St. Lawrence. And I don't know if it originated from like a protest or whatever, but apparently like the staff at Bass confronted him about basically getting information during. So like there's a rule that during the tournament, like you can't, or there's, a cutoff right after a certain date. You can't receive outside information from anyone that's not in the tournament. And you can't access anything off of like the Bassmaster website. Right.
Okay.
And
or is the social media as well during the event?
Yeah, I think it's any outside source, right? Anybody that's not in the tournament, whatever. So apparently he was either accused or whatever. Apparently what happened is someone at MLF gave him like waypoints for the St. Lawrence while he was fishing the tournament, essentially. And he initially, I think, declined to take a polygraph test about it. And then there was like this side storyline that apparently came out because Trait Zaldane posted on social media. I don't know if you saw any of that.
No,
there was a screenshot of that going around. I actually it was on, somebody posted on Bass Heads today even, that it was like, so somebody had said that the Zaldanes had paid people at Bass to like say that he failed a polygraph test, which apparently was not true. They're like the Zaldanes, like, I don't know why they're caught in the crossfire all of a sudden. Maybe just like people are wound up or whatever. So they apparently contacted JT Tompkins and were like, leave us out of your problem. Like, I don't know what your deal is. And then I guess he took a polygraph test following that and failed it. Ooh. So at some point they asked him straight up about like if he was like, so I don't know if soliciting or at least got outside information, and he must have said no. And then like he failed the polygraph test, so they DQ'd him.
Well, one thing really interesting is I listened to a Zal Dangerous podcast all about how they had on like the guy that used to work at MLF doing all their polygraph tests and stuff like that. And it's like an extensive, long process. So it's not like, I will say, like, I don't know the full details of what they asked him, what they didn't, and what he didn't, what he got a negative on or something. But they ask a ton of questions to gather the information if it was like, a false positive or if he's,
Sure.
Yeah. If he's not being completely honest per se. So like, that's interesting.
I don't know if they disclose like the actual results either, right? Like they just say that he failed. But
Sure.
I'm sure at some point they'll put it out, right? Like, I don't know if that becomes public or whatever, but I'm sure there's a lot of fans that care, that want to know like what the deal is. Because at this point he was just DQ'd from the tournament. Like, it doesn't sound like they kicked him off the elites or anything. Like, but it's like, okay, I mean, I don't know like what a rule violate, because there's guys that violate rules all the time, right? Like Trey McKinney got, he came in late or whatever. Well, you don't get kicked off the elites for that.
Yeah, but you don't get disqualified from an event either. Like, this must have been,
Yeah,
I don't know. This was intense enough to get DQ'd from.
It's kind of a drama-filled last event of the year, isn't it?
Yeah,
well,
big time.
I mean, I think it also comes down to, right, like the flare up now. I mean, I haven't heard too much after, like, I know last pod we kind of talked about that Weeb video, right? Like,
yeah,
how there's kind of this like divide between the FFS guys and the older dudes. But I mean, Zaldane was kind of under fire there and like kind of throwing shade at some of these younger guys. And then is it like coincidental that the following event, this whole thing blows up with the exact people that they were talking about? I don't know, man.
Like it is almost, yeah, it is like worst case Ontario.
Like literally the exact people that were being put on blast in there are all of a sudden the center of everything. I don't know, man.
I have a question
There's
for you
room for
guys.
speculation.
So obviously there's been a lot of polygraphs done and stuff on the MLF side, but like, has there been a ton of polygraphs done this year on the Elite Series in on the Bassmaster side?
I have no idea.
Like,
I don't think they tell you that though. Like, right? Like, they're not like, hey, we're administering a polygraph test for whoever.
Sure.
I mean, I think they always do for the winner. I think if you win a derby, they always do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I think that was one of the things that was in question, right? Like, because like Trey McKinney won, and I'm sure they put him on, a polygraph test, but nobody was ever like made a big deal about it because he passed it, right?
Yeah.
Even though like all these people are like, for whatever reason, like anti Trey McKinney. I don't know.
Do you guys think the speculation? You think the speculation is good or bad? Like, if Bassmaster released everything on, these were, this was his results. These are the questions that he had a false negative or that he failed at, and this is like exactly the reason why we're DQing him. Or do you think it's better that it's like, oh, we asked him a variety of questions and he failed some of them or one of them, and now it's like up to our imagination to be like, at what part was he caught? Like, what part did they DQ him for? Like, I don't know.
I feel like this is a new era of Bassmaster, and they're still feeling it out. Like, I think they're trying to get into this maybe like drama-filled ratings game, but it's like they haven't done that before. So it's like, where do you draw the line, kind of thing? Yeah. That's what it feels like.
I think they totally are. I think it's getting views, it's getting clicks.
100p.
It's like, it's like NASCAR. Rubbin's racing, Come on.
I kind of dig it. I mean, it's
I think it's fun. I'm interested, and I have no stake in bass fishing at all anymore. But I'm into it. This morning, 2 hours. I'm like knee deep in a rabbit hole. I mean, I got videos that no one's even seen. I mean, I like it. I for one like it as a viewer, but. Yeah, I have a
and it's given opportunities like this where we're gonna like talk about it. Like, it's given podcast fuel, man, and like YouTube videos, and like people.
This is gonna get. I mean, since we're talking about it, this is gonna get Bass Nation a lot of clicks. I mean, since we
really should be charging more at this point.
Our reach is so large. I mean, it stretches so far, both hemispheres. It's really something. So.
But anyway, so more to come on the drama, dude. Like, I don't know. It's like crazy.
Yeah, and if anybody has any insight down below, or maybe they found a different video or something different, definitely comment below what you think about all this. Just because, yeah, definitely a drama-filled end to the season and just a drama-filled year, to be honest. It's just a different age of bass fishing in the industry, and it is fun to talk about it, and it's honestly kind of fun to be a fly on the wall and just kind of watch things unfold. Like, it's really fun to watch things unfold on either of the circuits. So it's the Wild West, but the new age.
It's crazy, dude. Like, it's so much different than what fishing's been,
Dude, it's
like,
so much different. Oh, okay. And if we're gonna bring up the drama, we definitely need to bring up that Rick Clunn retired. which I think previously Will had some hate on Rick Clunn, but it wasn't even aimed at him.
It wasn't Rick Clunn. I want to apologize to Rick Clunn, and I want to congratulate him on an epic career, Rick. I apologize again. Congratulations, a true legend and a guy that did it the right way. I won't apologize to Bernie Schultz, however. You know what?
Sorry, Bernie.
Sorry, Bernie, but everything that I previously said about Rick was actually directed towards Bernie. But congratulations to Rick Clunn. What a career. I always loved it that he ran this is years back, but he would run like a Z19, like a nitro Z19 instead of the bigger boat, but he was like the flagship, like Z19 guy. I always loved that.
And I don't know if he ended his career doing this too. One thing I really loved about Rick is I think he used to tent camp at a majority of his tournaments. I'm not even kidding. I'm not lying.
That is so not surprising.
Very near the lake because he wanted to be close to the lake. He's very almost.
He's very in tune. He's very similar to a guy that's very, very famous in the fly fishing world called Flip Pallet is his name. And him and Rick are like, they're kind of one in the same, like sort of Florida. Well, Rick is not from Florida. Is he? Where's Rick from?
I have no idea. Is he an Alabama guy or something?
Maybe, but Flip is sort of like this very like grassroots kind of like was in like the early stages of fly fishing for tarp. But like him and Rick Clunn are like so similar that I'm sure they've probably met actually. But yeah, I got a lot of respect for the guys with the gray hair and white beards, So shout out Rick and apologies again for ripping him, but I'm not apologizing to Bernie Schultz one bit. So make that clear. I don't.
For the record, that was for some Trey McKinney fire too.
Yes, it was. It all circles back. I mean, yeah, it all comes full circle. So, but congrats to Rick on a wonderful career and enjoy retirement.
Rick is insane. I don't know. I feel like if I fish or you grind hard like for like 3 days in a row, like my body's pretty beat up, and I'm like in my late 20s. I don't know how he practices 3 days in a row and then fishes a 3-day derb, and
he's been doing that for what 40 years probably.
I don't know how old is he right now. I know he's been
he's old
fishing.
He's old. He's probably been fishing competitively for the last 40 years, I bet.
No, 50 years of Rick Clunn.
There it is.
Fishing bassmen for 50 years. 50 years.
He was on the Red Man tour. I mean, let that sink in.
He's been competing at a pro level twice as long as you've been alive, Will Stolski.
Yes.
Wow. Right. So whether you think he can still catch him or not, the dude caught him for 50 years.
Yeah.
Dude caught him for 50 years. Like, how long you been catching him? On like 50 years.
50 years.
What?
Competitively. Cashing check. Yeah.
So Rick Clunn right now is 77 years old.
77. Wow.
I hope I'm casually recreationally fishing at 77. That would be
I'll be happy to be trolling.
I'll be happy to get it out there at 77, let alone fishing derbies,
Yeah, like just to get your own boat out there at 77 would be ridiculous.
Where does he go from here? 50 years as a pro, he retires. I mean,
I hope he just fishes local tournaments and just beats up on everybody.
He kind of said that on stage. He kind of said, like, I hate the word retirement. I'm not retiring. I'm just ending my career at the top level of bass fishing. I do want to keep fishing tournaments on lakes that I want to fish. He's going to jackpot derbies, dude, and he's going to be 80 just taking punks money.
I hope he just destroys. I hope he just, kind of pulls a Ron Lindner type situation and just destroys people on his favorite lake.
Naughty if he just becomes like one of the best live scope anglers in the game, to end his career.
I can see it, dude. Did you see his Instagram post?
I did not. I mean, I saw there was like a cool graphic I saw of like 50 years of Rick Clunn or whatever.
Oh, no. You didn't see it, right?
No.
Did you see it, Will?
No, I didn't, but I want to now.
Oh, my gosh. I'll read it out loud. And I even think Matt Pangrick read it out loud on his podcast, but I think it's worth reading again. And I'll get your guys' opinion on this. I think he he posted this right before the St. Lawrence Derb. It's a picture of him in black and white, Will.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
And I'll read it. I'll read it out loud. And right in front of him is his giant NBT live scope right there, which is kind of like oxymoron to what the industry's been going through, where the old guard is kind of against FFS. So he says, the Greek mythology of Pandora's box is a metaphor for something that contains great troubles or blessings. The original fishing little green Pandora's box was made by Carl Lawrence. It was a little portable flasher depth finder, and I regret I did not keep it. It was the beginning of an electronic fishing revolution. Like today's electronic equipment, it was controversial. Even then, 50 years ago, there were states that wanted to ban it. After winning my second Bassmaster Classic in 1977, Carl invited me to Tulsa to fish with him. I'll never forget what he said about his depth finders that day. He said, "I'm so disappointed in the fishermen. They should be using it to see and catch fish, but most are just using it to know the depth. I wonder what he would think about the dominant role they are now playing." These new electronic boxes have certainly created different opinions on whether they're a blessing or a curse. I see it as neither. Most opinions are just premature, unknown speculation. The only known for me is that it has taught me more about real bass behavior in the last 3 years than the other 47 years combined. I view it as a further evolution of our sport. As an angler, I must evolve too. This spring, I met a young angler named Mitch Petrick. He's an inventor and owner of the MBT Marine Products. With his wisdom beyond his years and an innovative mind, he has helped make changes in the sport that will last generations to come. He helped me rig my boat with the best electronics available. No more excuses. I now must commit to learning how to use them. It all has made a huge difference in my understanding and approach together. Sometimes success isn't measured by how many pounds you put in your live well. It's not always quantitative to anyone other than yourself. I'm still learning, but I trust more what I'm looking at now more than ever. I would love to win an event using this new equipment and this style of angling. This is my goal for the future. Thank you, MBT Marine Products, for being the title sponsor of my St. Lawrence River Bassmaster Elite event. Thank you for celebrating my 50 years of fishing and helping guide me into my future.
Oh, dude, that's heavy.
What a very cool introspective post, you know? I mean,
wow.
Guy that's been doing it a long time. Not complaining either.
Yeah, coming from the guy who has fished more professional tournaments than anyone alive. Anyone ever. Alive or dead.
Yeah, I think over 500 Bassmaster events, they said.
Yeah. Wow.
That's insane.
That's he just seems so wise and
yeah, he's kind of like the Buddha of bass fishing.
Wow.
His Holiness, Rick Clunn.
Damn. Comment below what you guys think about Rick's post, because I think he touched on a lot of interesting things there, and he just, even at 77, he just says, I'm still a student to this game, and like we all are, like that's probably the coolest thing about fishing. And it's like he could have taken a million other approaches, and especially because of his,
age.
Yeah, his age and awards or his resume alone, I would have respected whatever he said or whatever side he picked, because he's got the chops and the years to back it. But I thought it was really interesting. That was his take on it. And
you kind of got to appreciate that it's like, right, he's retiring. He not that he doesn't have any skin in the game, but it's like he could have said anything he wanted. If he was so like, this is ruining the sport, I'm leaving because I don't want to be a part of it now. That's like not what he did.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
he was like, this is the future. I love it. Like, I'm gonna keep doing it. And it's like making me bet. Like, to listen to a guy that's 50 years of a professional to be like, this is making me better still. That's wicked, dude.
I agree.
It is wicked. Wow.
So shout out to Rick.
Yeah, shout out Rick. We'll move past that, but yeah, shout out Rick and shout out the end of a great Bassmaster season, a great tournament season for Bassmaster and MLF. That was, besides my fantasy picks, it was fun year. Fun year to watch go down.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, they keep catching bigger and bigger bags too, which is, I think, pushing things to the next level, right? Like some of these tournaments, dude, there's like over half the field is dropping 20p.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wicked. Absolutely wicked. All right. So that's a sick picture that you put in the group chat.
I wanted to put that there just so Honor knew, like, oh yeah, just in case he's out.
Yeah. What's going
Dude,
on?
I know he's out. I know
Make
that's why
sure.
he wasn't coming. I know it. There's no way he's working.
I
Hey,
don't
no
think
way.
so, but factories have to be wired.
Well, that is true. That is true.
I think I'm gonna make a new Moscow Mule, and what Will, why don't you kick off a little Will's Wiki Find? This is a little segment we like to call Will's Wiki Find, and take it away. Let the folks know what this is all about.
I've got kind of a fun one, and we'll keep it Alaska themed since I just got home.
Well, let's preface this by just letting people know what the hell this actually is.
Yeah, what is Will's Wiki Find? What is this segment all about?
Well, it's evolved some, but mostly the same, in that I sort of find things that I think are interesting on the internet, and I just sort of talk about them. And sometimes it's conspiracy theories, sometimes it's video games, sometimes it's murders, but mostly it's just whatever I want to talk about. So tonight we're going to talk about there's a town in Alaska called Whittier. Have you guys ever heard of Whittier, Alaska?
I have, but I don't know why.
Sure. So it's on the shores of Prince William Sound, which is quite beautiful. Originally, it was a military base. That's sort of how it started. But the entire town, for the sake of this, basically the entire town lives in one building. I think 12 stories, high rise, and they all live there. Everybody in the whole town. Now, there's not a lot of people that live there, but that's the housing. So there's that, and then there's a few other little stores, whatever. And the only way to get there is you have to drive through a tunnel, a one-way tunnel where they have, basically like a light where you can go through or not. But everybody lives in this one building. So I thought, wow, that must have been, imagine growing up there, like as a kid. How cool is that? All your buddies are in the same.
Not buddies, just the whole town folk.
The whole town lives in the same house as you do, And Prince William Sound is really epic for fishing. They have good fishing there. They have great shrimping, good bear hunting. A lot of like the bear hunts that you're seeing where people are black bear hunts are doing via boat is all out of Prince William Sound. But I was just like sort of thinking about Whittier and like, wow, like growing up there, that just must be crazy where everybody lives in like literally one giant high rise, and that's it. That's all that there is there. There's nothing else. Like if you look at it on a map, I have the wiki pulled up in front of me. The population is 272 as of the 2020 census.
Must be a hell of a house.
Well, it's like a giant
like apartment complex.
Yeah, basically apartment complex. And not giant either, I guess. A giant is not the right word, but yeah, the only way to get there is through that tunnel, and everybody just sort of lives in this one sort of Soviet-looking building. I'm glad I don't live there. I wouldn't want to live there, but
Can you imagine the dude that pulled the trigger on either building that or buying that, and they're like, dude, there's nothing in this town, and you're never going to fill this apartment complex. And like down the road, he's like, oh, you got some folks living there? Oh yeah. The whole town, like the whole town. I'm the landlord to the whole town.
So this is what it says. So
yeah, I built this town.
The 14-story Hodge building was completed in 1957 and contains 150 2- and 3-bedroom apartments, plus bachelor efficiency units. I'd probably be in one of those. That's basically where everybody lives. Is there. You guys should Google it. It's kind of crazy to see this town because it's like backed right up against the mountain, and there's just like this one giant, apartment building, and that's literally where the entire town lives, is there.
That'd be an incredible like interview documentary style to just like roll in there and get these people's opinions growing up there. Like, how long have some of these folks lived here? Like, have they lived there since they were kids and now they're raising a family there? Like, did people meet their wives there? Or like,
I bet all the kids leave. all the little villages around where I fish in Bristol Bay, like this was my fourth or fifth year in Bristol Bay. And like, I've met like some people in the little town and all that, but like all those kids end up leaving. Nobody stays. So like all these towns, like all the populations are just like steadily declining. Which I don't really blame.
Heavy incest going? Gotta be.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, that is a problem, actually. Yeah, I mean, there's no new people really moving there, because the only new people
That's
that
what I'm
come to
saying.
these little native villages, the only like fresh blood they get is like teachers and nurses who are on rotational contracts, because you can make a bunch of money doing that. But like very rarely do they end up staying. It's really sad, actually. Like a lot of Western Alaska is like that. These little native villages where the kids grow up and leave and they move to Anchorage or something else, but
that was going to be my next question. Like, are a lot of these kids leaving the state, or they're just leaving their small little villages?
A lot of them end up in Anchorage, but there is a fair amount of them that leave, I think, and go to the lower 48. But I've talked to I have this kid that I met like 4 years ago in Dillingham, which is a little native village that we sort of base our operations out of. And he left, went to Anchorage, and then ended up going to the lower 48 for school, for college, and went down and had a really tough time initially, like the first year he was there. But now he's down in, I think he's in Utah or something like that, but he'll never leave now. Like now that he's adjusted to that, like he'll stay. But man, those are some tough people up there to do that year round, to live that remote where the only way you can get there is by, float plane or barge. Like, my gosh,
that is wicked remote, wicked
right.
Remote.
Yeah. Oh, crazy. There's some tough people, but I don't blame the kids for leaving either. I mean, there's only so much sort of opportunity you have in a situation like that,
Yeah. Well, let me mix another muley. I'll be right back. Do you need a freshie?
Yeah, I might. I'll spin up one too.
Yeah,
Ryan,
folks, we would like. Yeah, we would like to open this invitation if anybody would like to pull over and take a bathroom break right now, or mix up a drink of their own.
Mix a new drink. Have one yourself.
I'm gonna give a little update here. So currently here, I'll even spin it around here. So we're currently under heavy full moon presence. I don't know if you can see that over there, but yeah, we're still out here slinging. The bugs are getting insane, mainly because I have the lights on so you can see me. But it's getting rowdy out here. It is super glass calm. I think there's only one other boat on this entire lake. We're still grinding. Let's see if we can get another one here while we're still rolling on the pod. Still got a little time left, but yeah, super nice night. I hope anyone else that's out slinging for skis right now is having some success. But trying to make it count here on Past the Barb. But yeah, the boys are stirring one. Still working on this beer. Kind of been nursing it, but it's kind of like I feel like I should have more of a heavy celebration beer, being that we really got it done here tonight so far. But I don't know. We'll see what we have left here. But I do know that these wiki finds, I think we're going to maybe start posting them on social media, because we've been getting some good feedback on them. So if you guys do like those, drop in the comments, whether you're on like Spotify or YouTube or whatever, hit us up there. If you find anything crazy, send it to us, because I think that's where we're going to jump into next year. Well, we got a little bit of time, but I'm pulling up the Instagrams because we cut it off last time on this. So we're going to get into it tonight. All right. You got one stirred up there, Mr. Stolski?
I do. Yeah, I'm topped off here. This is good.
All right. So what we're going to do on this one, see if I can go back here. Oh, wow. It's getting rowdy out here. I will say, dude, if you're going to be out at night, having lights on sucks.
Yeah.
You should see my laptop screen. Like, I wish I could show it to you. The amount of bugs that are on it currently is pretty impressive. There's some sort of hatch going on. I'm sure you, as a trout aficionado, could tell me what the hell these are, but they are thick.
I could probably idea it, but yeah.
All right, let me see if I can go into this. Archive. We're going to the archive, boys. So we dropped a question box last week when we recorded, and then we totally skipped over it because we went long. So I think we're going to just get into some PTB fan
fan questions and comments. So, you boys, I hope you're ready to fire on this one. You ready for this, Mr. Sobey?
No, catch me up. Catch me up. I didn't hear.
So last time we cut off doing our fan questions. So we're going to get back into it right here. I have a whole list we had like a ton. So shout out everybody that responded to that last time. We got a lot of them. We're going to have to set maybe a limit on how many each individual person can submit, mainly because Mac Pangrack must have been day drinking and really got into it heavy. So shout out BTL.
Oh, wow.
But,
shout out Matt Pangrack. Shout out BTL, Bass Hawk Live.
Yeah.
He's been doing good. I think he's ranked third or fourth on the jump up in the outdoors podcast realm. I want to say we've been holding number one, and then
for a lot of weeks, but we're happy for him, you know.
Mm-hmm. And then, I think he's been coming in like third or fourth best outdoors podcast.
Yeah, which is good. You know,
the top five.
There's nothing wrong.
Shout out BTL, top five.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, good job.
All right, so we'll lead off with a panger question here. So he's saying, why aren't there any live bait only bass fishing derbies?
That's a good question.
I'm talking shinner minners.
Yeah, I mean, bobber and a shiner.
Do you think that they would put up bigger bags?
Weed weasel and a pike sucker, you know?
Power corking shiners.
I'm surprised there's not like a Lake Okoboji or a Florida big bass bash with just shiner fishermen throwing down heavy. Those shiner fishermen, they bring in hogs, dude.
I'd tune into that. That'd be cool.
Or is there? Maybe we're just missing out. Like maybe is there like a league where that's a thing?
I don't really know. It's
just like not, big or whatever.
And we will shout out another podcast, Teal's Bass Galaxy, but actually Teal and Hayes had the same conversation, how obviously there's this giant uproar with FFS, and Hayes brought up the point where he's like, no one cares about that in the walleye world. And also the walleye world, they're still on live bait. Like they're chucking a jig head and a crawler on top of a walleye's head.
And that's like normal.
Yeah. And nobody's like, they're all like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Dang. All right. He got a couple good
question.
Best insult to hurl at a fellow tournament competitor. I think not even anything being said, but I think pulling in behind somebody is savage because it's like you're looking at them like they didn't catch them.
Yeah, like I'll just go behind you.
Like I always felt like that was a heavy one.
Will, what about in your Brainerd days? Like, did you ever throw out some trash talk? Like,
I'm trying to think. It's so long ago. There was one time that this was not during a tournament, but one time Hayes and I were out fishing on Margaret, and it was in the fall and we were fishing for crappies, and we brought our Vexilars out there and we were fishing with ice fishing rods, because we thought it'd be kind of fun. And we dropped the anchor like on top of this hump, and this other guy was like fishing by us. I know who he was. He's been around a long time, and he pulls up next to us. He goes, "You guys really gonna anchor here?" And Hayes looks at him with zero hesitation. He goes, "Yeah, we fucking are." And we were like 17 years old.
Oh, buddy Hayes.
And then we just sat on top and just destroyed them. Yeah, but no, it's not. I never really got into people in bass tournaments. I was never good enough to like really have like a leg to stand on. I mean, whatever. I was like competitive, but not enough where I could like really back it up.
Dang.
What do you got, Sam?
Some of the best comebacks. I've never used them, but I think it'd be not like, guys, if you pull in on a dude and maybe it's like an OG and they yell like, "Are you serious?" I think it'd be sweet one time to be like, "No, I'm not serious. I'm not even serious.
I'm just joking.
I'm joking. I'm just joking." And
joshing around.
I'm just joshing.
Yeah.
Serious? No, I don't know. I think it'd just be sweet if you just were short and simple. And if a lot of guys yell, "Are you serious? Your mother." Serious? Your mother? No, I've never.
It's not that on the water like, I don't know if there's that much of that happening. I mean, I think like it does, but like.
Yeah, I think it's pretty minimal. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the best thing to say would be. I ran into one on Gull. just the other time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I won't go into a lot of details, but like I'm not obviously like I'm not
Name
like,
drop.
I'm not like cutting dudes off or whatever, but like I pulled in and I went to go flip this outside edge, and there was a dude like way inside of it, and I swear he was up on top of it throwing a freaking chatterbait, and I go like on the edge, like gull will, like I'm flipping in 19 feet of water. You know what I mean? This dude throws his trolling motor on high, and he comes blaring at me, and it takes him like freaking 5 minutes to get to me because he's like far away. I did not cut this dude off, and he's like, oh, I've been here all morning. I'm like, what? Cool. I don't know. I didn't know that. Like, I'm on.
What difference does it make?
I was like, I pulled in probably 400 yards away from you. You're up on top of it. He's like, I'm flipping weeds. I'm like, I'm flipping the edge. How deep are you? He's like, I'm in 14 feet. I'm like, I'm in 9. This edge goes to 19 feet. Dude, it was kind of heated. I've got this all on footage. I'm not name dropping, but it was, dude, I do feel like, I don't know. It does get fiery out there sometimes.
No, I've had it happen. Like, I've had it happen guiding a lot. Well, not a lot, but before where it's just like the same sort of scenario. Like, you're not trying to like cut someone off. You're not trying to screw them over, but it's sort of like a miscommunication. And like, I mean, it is what it is, but I do the same thing as you, Sam, where it's like, I never try to cut anybody off. I never try to go in front. Sometimes it just happens where you cross paths, whatever. It is what it is. I've chewed people's asses before, like guiding in where I guide in Alaska now on the Nushagak River. It's like, it's so remote. Like, it's basically just us, like people, like guys I guide with at this lodge. That's like the only boats on the river. And like, I've had to like, not chew ass, but like talk to some of the other guides there about like, pulling in below me or like, I'm like, hey, we have the whole river, like we're not competing against each other. We're all on the same team. Don't do that, like, and I won't do it on the water with clients, but like, I've just not like a bragging thing, but I've been doing this for a long time. And so like some of the young guys, you just kind of have to tell them how to do this. Like, don't pull right in underneath me. We're fishing a river. There's current. Like,
I want to see charged up Will Stolski.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to see it.
I only had one scenario this past month in Alaska where I got like really, really mad, and I'm fishing the spot where I'd been starting every single day and had just been absolutely whacking them. Like, first pass, I would roll through there and we'd kill like 12, like on the first pass. Like, it was so loaded. So I fish it first pass. We kill like 10 or 11 in the box, like really good first pass. I go back up to the top. I like settle in. I'm like drifting down, like we're casting. My guys are casting, or catching some fish. And then this other boat, one of our other guides, like comes in, like right behind me and like low holes me. That's what it's called. And like sits down. And I look at him. He's like 30 yards below me. I just look at him. I go, what are you doing? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he like one of his guys gets snagged. There's a bunch of snags in there. So then it creates this whole mess, and I got to go way out around him and come back in. And like, I will say this, like, it was not like totally his fault. Like, the boat that I was fishing, it was a split group, right? And so the guys he had were the other part of the group, and they're like, oh, let's go low hole the other guys. Like, it'll be funny, and he apologized to me when we got back to the camp, but I was like, don't do that. I was like, you can't let them tell you what to do. Like, if I've learned anything from guiding, like, you have to, like, you can't let them control the day, like, it was just ridiculous. But that was the only time in a whole month up there that I actually got like mad. But I was mad. I was really, really mad for like 5 minutes,
especially then, like when you're slaughtering, like,
and then we got around them, and then it was just like bam, bam, bam. But I don't like that. It's just like you said, Sam, like sometimes you have just, you cross paths at the wrong time, and like, it's not great, but like, when it's intentionally done, that bothers me.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, let's go. We got
good fishing. So
let's see. I'll go one more Pangrat question because he just unleashed here.
Good questions from Matt.
This one's good though. This is worst type of alcohol to drink the night before a derby.
Oh,
I'm just gonna take this back to the point days, and I'm just gonna say, if there's shots involved, you're about to have a bad time tomorrow.
Dang.
Yeah, I think that's sort of universal for sure.
I think back in the point days, Ryan, I don't know if you remember this, but we used to go and we used to get those natty ices, and they're like at
Natty.
Walmart. Natty
Yeah.
Daddies, dude. Natty Daddies.
Daddies.
Daddy.
Yeah. the
Natty Daddies.
Those
Natty
have
Daddies,
more than
yeah.
the natty ice.
Yes, they taste like a
So
delicious,
bad.
normal cold beer. Like not a good one, but like they taste like a cold beer, but they've got a
Natty
wicked
Daddies.
amount
They're
of
like
alcohol.
8%, dude.
Yeah, so like after a long day on the water, we could be cracking beers, and next thing you know, if you got like 8 down, you're hurting. You're gonna hurt tomorrow.
You are destroyed.
You're destroyed.
Eight
Yeah,
Daddies, you're done.
they're
The
those.
Natty
That was
Daddies.
diesel on diesel.
That was
Oh,
good. Yeah,
dude.
do you remember I know like all the bars have either like changed names or they're different now, but that Brick House place was like if you went there and used the ATM, you got a free shot. They always gave you a free shot of apple pie if you used the ATM there because it costed like $3 or something.
Oh, really?
And I remember going there the night before a couple tournaments. I think I was telling somebody this story the other day or whatever. But I remember going down there, getting so charged up and just like, because Sam, you'd go down there with like $10 and like black out pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was like, I remember getting so tuned up that it was the night before we fished tournament. And I didn't want Kaysen to leave me because he left the bar before I did. And I was like, he's going to leave my ass. I know it. And I put on my rain gear and I slept in his porch so he wouldn't leave me behind. And then we won, dude.
Then you won.
We won.
That's the best part.
That was on Camelot, dude. We sacked him up that day. I still have the picture too, and we both just look so ground down.
Hayes and I used to have this thing when have I talked about this on the Thursday, like our little rule book for like drinking during the Thursday nighters? Did we?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, where you had to catch a fish, you had to get one in the boat, and then you could have a beer, and then you had to get a limit, and then you could have another, and then after that, it was like free game. But that was a good way to sort of rein it in during the derby.
I like that. I like that rule book.
But if you had a big sack, which we did one time, then it was just like there were no I mean, whatever you got in the boat, drink it.
I will say I feel like this kind of is a part 2 of Matt's question, but after you feel really horrible in the morning, I've just remembered like taking showers extra early when you're trying to like bring yourself back to life and just
hyperventilating,
like the heavy breathing.
Yeah.
As you're just naked in the shower trying to bring
you're
yourself
like looking down at your toes, leaned up against the wall.
Yeah, like get these demons out of me before we go do this. And then
so bad. Oh.
Wow.
Fun though. I think you fish a little. You're a little more loose when you're fishing like that. You're running off instinct. You can't even process how to make a decision, so you just go.
And you're not jittery. You're slow. You're fishing slow. Oh my gosh, you're fishing.
You got the Greg Hackney, flipping reel in your hand, and you're just kind of doing one of these, flip.
I'm a hell of a finesse fisherman after that.
Yeah, that's a good way to just let a drop shot soak, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, Ryan, next one. Those were great. Right. Thanks, Matt. Shout out to Matt for the 3rd or 4th best outdoors podcast.
So we got a good one here from Buddy B Rock. He says,
"Shout out B Rock.
Shout out B Rock." He says, "Rhode Island, neither a road nor an island. Discuss."
That's a really
wow.
He's been on the East Coast too long, buddy.
Is he? What do you mean? Is he out there?
Yeah, he's out there working. He moved there. He lives and works out there now for Euro Tackle.
Like in Connecticut or something?
Yeah, he lives in Connecticut and he's kind of running the distribution center for Euro Tackle.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
He's like the only guy that works there.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know Brock was out. Good for Brock. That's cool. I just didn't know that. Now I feel kind of bad.
We got to get him back on here. I know he's listening to this.
Yeah, we got to get him back on. You should snap him, Stolski. You should just snap
I should. I got him on Snap. I just didn't know he was in Europe. Or, I mean, not Europe, but
he's not. So
it might as well be, dude.
It's in Europe. Where did that even come from?
I do think we should go in fantasy order, though. I'll let Ryan take this question head on, though. Neither road nor an island.
I just think somebody came up with that name and then they decided it was like, no one's going to come here anyway. So why even bother feeling this out? Because isn't it like it's so small? Like I've never been there, but like,
I think it's
I've
the
never heard
smallest.
anything.
I think it's the smallest state in the union.
It for sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, is it? I mean, it's legit an island, though, right? Like, I'm now a geographic.
No,
wizard
it's not
here.
an island. It's connected to the continental U.S. It's not an
So
island.
the whole thing's blown. The whole thing's blown.
Yeah, it's all made up.
They must have tried a lot of good drugs there.
Let's call
Rhode
it.
Island.
Let's call this place Road. No. Let's call it Island. All right. Well, we'll just compromise. Rhode Island.
Yeah, I don't know. Just glad I don't live.
Or
maybe it's cool. I don't know. I've never been.
I just like that none of us have even been there. And we're like, yeah, fuck that place.
Or the place was founded by a dude who, on his way over, he physically rode. Maybe he beached his boat and he rode an island, per se.
Well, his last name was probably Rhode, Rhode, which I believe how it's spelled. So
Rhode Island. Okay.
But
I feel like I have more questions now than ever. Like I don't know.
That's a stimulating question.
Good question, B-Rock.
I don't think we're none of us can really.
You may be asking the wrong people this.
Yeah, that's better for like Neil deGrasse Tyson or something.
We got to get like David Attenborough on here.
Yeah, I can't wait till he's on the pod. It's coming soon, I think. We're just working out times,
Yeah, he was thinking more October.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. We get it, So, but he'll be here. What's the next one?
Let's see what we got here. So let's go with what's the best encounter you've had with a Karen while fishing? Anybody got a good one? I haven't had too many of these, but I did. I had one pretty good one on the St. Croix River, actually.
I think it happens more like in the South.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot of like, don't fish my dock people. That's what mine was.
Yeah.
I'll even say where it was. That. So, Sam, you were just there too, right? On the St. Croix?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Hudson, like right when you cross the bridge, on the south side of the bridge on the Wisconsin side, there's like a lake, like a pond, just south of the 94 bridge there.
Yeah. And
if you go in there, there's maybe like 5 houses. The southmost one. So if anyone wants to go flip a jig around, that place right there, that guy, and his house is like way up the hill, right? And he's got like a floating dock there. And I was in there flipping around, catching some bass or whatever. And he came down and he was just he came out and he just stood on the dock, like watching the whole time. Really? And I think I flipped the jig and it must have hit one of the poles underneath the dock, like it just tinked off the thing. And the dude went ballistic, dude. Absolutely ballistic. Yeah. And he was like, if you're not good enough to fish around somebody's dock, you shouldn't be fishing at all and all this shit. And just lost his goddamn mind. And he's like, I'm calling the cops and the whole thing. Like, it was crazy.
On dude. You. He said this to you?
Yes, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, in my head, I'm like, for the love of God, please let one bite right now. I would love to just yoink one, like a 4-pounder out from under this guy's dock. And whatever. And then he stayed down there for probably like 10 minutes, just like hothead screaming, like red in the face. And whatever. That was the worst. I think I was just like, hey man, I'm just fit, like, just chill. Like I didn't like do anything. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just fishing, man. Like, I don't know. Sorry, dude. Like, I'm
just angling. Yeah.
Just angling.
Yeah. And he was just not having it, man. Like, I don't know. But it's a sick little spot. So if you're ever down there, I highly suggest checking her out.
Put one in there. See what's going on.
Peg his docker underneath it.
Yeah. See what's happening.
Just don't hit the pole. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really had like a bad Karen incident. I don't think.
No, I've never really had like a terrible one either.
I've had some. I've had some like I've had this multiple times, and I always think it's really funny. Like, I feel like even around my area or whatever, like there's like more elderly folks that like own some of these cabins and stuff, and they'll go for like an evening swim. You know, like there'll be some old ladies out there swimming, and I'll like always go around them, and they always go, "Thank you for not cashing by me." and I'm like, "You're good. It's all good." But these old ladies, I can kind of tell they're like nervous, like, "Oh my gosh, he's gonna whip one in there,
flip one right under me."
Yeah, there's always been very cordial exchanges, and these old women are really hilarious. So thank you for not casting near me.
Yeah, I think people are more chill around here, though. Like you said, I think it's more of a southern. Like you see these people freaking out. I do feel like I have more action with like dogs getting pissed.
Yeah, dogs will freak out. Shout out the dog here with tonight. That dog was such a champ when that Muskie hit the net, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah. River's a hell of a boat dog. He's just been chilling, you know. We had him out. We had him out bassing the other day, and
he's all good. Yeah,
it's all good.
He's really
chilling. I think he's ready to be on shore now, though. He's just looking longingly into the darkness, just like, man, bet there's some land over there.
Yeah, he's probably tired of sitting in that boat.
Nah, he's chill, man. He's chill. He's probably ready for a treat, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, dude. You got Chomp and TJ's got Puff Part.
Come on, get up in here.
Yeah, give him some chomp.
Yeah, give him some chomp.
Yeah, you trying to? Oh, like that?
He'll lap that up.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he's about it, dude.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get you a treat. Let's get you a treat. All right, let's go. Let's do one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll get the heck out of here. But I know we left a bunch of people hanging by not doing these last time. So I don't know if this already happened, but dude sends in high school Bassmaster Nationals on Lake Chickamauga. I know you've been there, Sam. What do you think about that for a college venue?
Ooh, the Dirty Chick. I think maybe that happened already, and I think they did it at the end of July or something. But that would be
good. That
would be a really interesting place where I feel like you got to find something off the wall to win that tournament. Because like I talked to some high school anglers that were going down there, and there was like 225 dudes, and obviously Chick is super pressured in the summer, and like those ledges got to get super beat on. But I know there's smallmouth opportunity out there. I don't know how it went down, but it'd be a cool venue, no doubt. But it would be like probably be really pressured come July. Like those fish have seen some baits.
They're educated.
I've never been there, so I can't really speak to it. I remember, didn't you guys film some stuff down there? You and Hunter?
Yeah. This was kind of like, this was back before swim baits were like, or maybe they're just getting kind of popular on the scene. And Cody Hunter had like, you know, some mag drafts. He had like a handful of mag drafts, and he was like, dude, I've caught some fish on these. And we're like, oh yeah, shit. And Brock and I were sleeping in church parking lots down there, and then we crashed on his motel floor, and we just went to check blind. Cody never been there, Brock never been there, I never went there, and we threw these mag drafts like right at the end of pre-spawn. We had like wicked day. We caught some really big fish. Cody caught some really big fish.
Damn.
Yeah, it was sick.
Well, I'll have to look it up. Hopefully they smashed them, but I always wanted to fish there. I always heard it was such a cool place, like a lot of different stuff going on there. So
yeah,
that would be lit.
Before Kyle Welcher made the Elite Series, Brock and I were down there too, and we hit him up. He had like 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I hit him up, and I was like, "Do you have any pointers for Chickamauga?" And he's like, "Oh, why don't you all come in the boat with me tomorrow?" And me and Brock were like, "Cool." And then he turns out to be Kyle Welcher, right?
An Elite Series pro.
Yeah, years down the road. But at the time, he was just an aspiring gambler and fishing the opens.
God, that's right. I think you told me that he was like funded his first year as a pro, like playing blackjack or something crazy.
Yeah, he's a wicked good blackjack player.
God damn, that's crazy.
Hey, shout out to that guy. I like that guy.
Yeah, dude.
We gotta get Welcher on here, dude.
Yeah, we do gotta get Welcher on.
I like that.
Hit him up. If you want to see Kyle Welcher on Pass the Barb, hit him in the DMs right now. If you're listening to this, hit him up, and we'll do the same.
I like that. That's cool.
All right, so let's get back into the little meat of this thing, dude. Because Stolski, I know we kind of been like glazing over this, but before we run out of time here, dude, I want to hear. Give me like two. I mean, I know you probably have endless because I know crazy stuff happens all the time up there. But give us some tidbits from Alaska, dude. I want to hear how this salmon run went down.
Yeah, some fishing related, some not fishing related. Just some takeaways. Year 4, year 5.
Did you find love in Alaska?
No, of course not.
Damn it!
That place is the Sahara Desert. But I'll glaze over the fishing quickly, and then I'll talk about the travel. So the fishing was very good this year, and I thought it was going to be not that good. Last year it was so epic. Last year was like just insanity, you know, like it was crazy good. Best I've ever seen it there. And so this year I was sort of preparing myself like, oh, it's not going to be as good, because I've had years on this river where it hasn't been that good. And this year was more of the same. I mean, it was just a whack fest, you know, like pull into your first spot in the morning, like start drifting, and, you know, all of a sudden, bam, 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 doubles, triples, quadruples. Like it was that was the norm. So the fishing was really, really good all through the entire season. We had like maybe one day where it sort of lulled a little bit, and then it got good again. But the travel coming home was so shitty. So I was supposed to be back we're recording this on the 19th. So I got back on the 18th. We had to actually close down the camp a day early. We had to get clients out of there because of the weather, and it was just rain and wind, and they can't fly a float plane in that, you know, and that's the way you get people out. Right. So we sent people home we were supposed to have them there until the 14th, I think. We sent them home on the 13th. Everybody got out fine. On the 14th, we did like shut down stuff. It's a lot of work to close down that camp. And then the 15th is when the weather was like really, really, really bad. And then the 16th, I was supposed to leave and start the journey back home. And so we get picked up by the float plane. It's like half of the crew. So there's like 7 of us. So it's 2 floats. And we land at the lake up above Dillingham, which is the closest village. And I've never been to like, it's Alegnagik is it's called. And it's like this very like cool lake. It's like tucked in the mountains, and like usually you land closer to town. But I was like excited to see this. There's a bunch of lodges there.
Yeah.
And there, and the air taxi service we were using, they have a lodge there. So we like land in the morning at like 10, you know, like we get out of the like our lodge at like, you know, 9:30, 9. And our flight doesn't leave until like 4:15. And so we got time, you know, so we're like hanging out at this lodge, like drinking coffee, like hanging out with the dogs. Like, I'm just like, everyone's just so complacent, happy to leave, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, look, it wasn't me, but someone's like, God, like we kind of board our flight like pretty soon, you know, like we got to get going. It's like 3:00 and we're supposed to board at like 3:30.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
oh shit. So then now like everybody's kind of like gone. It's like just us there. And like, we're like trying to wrangle up someone to drive us to town, which is 25 minutes away. And so we get somebody to drive us, and like, so we're flying to Dillingham, like just like hauling ass. And we get there and like walk into the airport. Well, first we had to pick up our fish, which were right next door to the Dillingham airport. Is so small. There's like one terminal, obviously. Like it's tiny. It's basically like a shed, you know? And like our fish we had already flown it out like 3-4 days before, and we were storing it right next to the terminal in one of the like walk-in freezers there. So we like grab our fish, like we go into the airport and no one's in there. And I'm like, this is not good. Like everybody's on the plane already, because at a little airport like that, the people that check you in also do security. They also load the plane. Like it's like a 3-man show. Right. So we like walk in and I don't see anybody in there. I'm like, we're fucked, you know? So we get in there and there's one guy in there and he's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, oh, we're on this, you know, 4:15 flight. And he's like, well, there's no way you're going to get on it. He's like, you could maybe get on it. He's like, but your bags won't. He's like, it's full, because the flight before got canceled. The day before got canceled.
Oh, no.
Full flight. He's like, there's no more weight he's like, yeah, there's no room. And so there's 7 of us, and we're all like, fuck, like, so we're not going to get on the flight. And so then like, okay, well, we'll just like load the fish back in the freezer. And then we got to spend the night in Dillingham, which is the absolute worst. Like I've done it a lot, but it's horrible. There's one motel, the Bristol Inn, and it's like such a shitty motel. So we stay there. The next morning, we get on the morning flights. There's 2 flights. There's morning and afternoon. So we get on the morning flight at 11. We get out of there. And then I will say that, like, I'm very thankful for the lodge I work for because they pay for all my travel and they moved my flights, but they just rebooked the same flights I had from the day before. So I didn't fly out of Anchorage until 11:30 p.m. And so I was in the Anchorage airport for about 12 hours.
Oh, no.
And it's just horrible. There's nothing you can do, And so I'm like, and everybody's in the same boat. I mean, some people left at like 9 or 10, but like just in that airport forever. And I could have left. I did that one year. I did leave, but like, it's just not even worth it. You're just better off just like sitting in the airport, And so
how's the complimentary Wi-Fi?
It's decent. It's good. It's good enough, but yeah, just stuck there for like 12 hours, like, eating McDonald's and getting a milkshake every 3 hours. Like, I mean, you just have nothing to do, you don't even want to drink. You can't even drink because it's so expensive, so it's like not even worth it. And then flew out of Anchorage at 11:30, landed and had to go to Salt Lake first, and then was in Salt Lake for another like 3 hours, and then flew back, landed in Helena yesterday at like 12:30, I think, p.m.
Wow, so you just got back yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. So the travel is it can be so shitty up there. But the fishing and all the other stuff was really, really good. It was just the travel was a nightmare,
That is a long day. It's a mad long day.
Dude,
Yeah.
So just give us like I know we'll probably get into more stories on another pod too, but like just a teaser, like body count. Like how many salmon did you club?
I never had a day where I didn't limit out. So, I mean, it was...
You limited out every day.
Give us raw data.
Every day. I mean, I had some days where I only had 2 clients, not a lot. So that'd be 10 silvers, and that's easy. That's first pass at Kingfisher, my favorite spot. I mean, you're done, you're done at, but the best day I had the best full boat day, I would say, with 4 guys, which is 20 silvers. I was done. We'd leave the lodge at 8 a.m. and I was done at like 9:12, 2 passes.
Wow.
Done. I mean, then we go do catch and release, whatever,
yeah,
limited out, like it was chaos. I mean, triples and quadruples were quadruples were regular if the guys could get them out there and not get tangled up. I mean, it was just...
So, but like you put the
really
club
good.
to like 200 fish?
Yeah, well, more than that, probably.
Yeah,
We were I cleaned on average, because I clean all the fish, me and Joaquin. So like everyone has their little like duty there when you process the fish. Joaquin and I are the guys that clean the fish. I cleaned over 100 salmon every day.
Oh,
yeah.
Every day?
Over 100 salmon a day. You're putting the knife in.
Every day I was there. Yeah. Collectively.
Are you going through a lot of blades on the electric, or like?
Well, I run a 9-inch Bubba, and that knife, it's like you got to sharpen it, but I mean that thing can. It's probably near the end of its lifespan. I've had it there for 3 years now, but yeah, over 100 fish a day. I mean, cleaning them.
Wow.
You're so sick of salmon by the end of it. You don't want to.
I knew it was carnage, dude, but I was like, I didn't think it was that heavy.
Yeah, because every boat was limiting it out. It wasn't just me, I mean, everybody was tagging totally. So, you get back and just start cleaning. And then the coolers would just start showing up. Me and Joaquin would always get back a little early so we could get a jump on it. But then it'd be like, everyone just loads their fish in these giant totes. And then we'd have just a pile of coolers facing us, and everybody, I mean, all the other guys are working, they're vacuum sealing, because we have to do all the fish processing there ourselves, because it's, you're so remote, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, they have commercial vacuum sealers. They have a giant walk-in flash freezer. Like, it's really dialed in, but it's a lot of work. So I mean, you get back at whatever time, and then you've got another 3 hours of work ahead of you. But I love cleaning salmon. Like, I would rather do that than vacuum seal. So I don't mind it, but I'm excited to go back to trout fishing where I don't have to keep anything. Like I've killed enough for the year. Like,
That's so much harvest. Dang.
it was absolute carnage. At one point, I'll send a picture to you guys, but like at one point, like first pass kingfisher, I got like 3 of these dudes, and they're like some of my gig clients. I've fished them a bunch, and like we're like getting down, and I look down at my feet because when the fishing is really good, I don't put them in the fish box right away. Like, I just bonk them and then just put them on the floor of the boat, because like get it back out there. And I look down and I've got like 12 silvers at my feet. Like, they're just everywhere. And I took a
And these
picture
are
of
like,
that first pass.
how big are these? Like 5-6 pounds?
Our average silver is like between 8 to 10 pounds there.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's like our average, which I mean, there's like bigger ones in other places, but we have the quantity where it's just like they get so loaded in these spots. I mean, you can see them. I mean, they're tailing, like they'll actually, like, they're not eating, but they come out of the water and they'll be like rolling around. And like, I mean, I'll be running my boat up in the morning, and like when I see fish rolling, like not even where I'm going, but just on the way, I'm like, oh, they're loaded where I'm going. Like, it's a good feeling.
Why do they load up where you're going so hot? Like is it just a big eddy there? Or like, why?
That spot, it's just like a big gravel bar, but the current is like just right. And it's super shallow. I mean, like the boat's in like 3 feet of water most of the time. You're casting into like 2-3 feet.
So sick.
But they just sit in it. They like it. It's like their first like resting spot, because we're so close to the ocean where the lodge is. We're only 30 miles away from the ocean. So like all these fish are dime bright chrome. They've got sea lice all over them. But that's like the first spot they like really hold, I think, anyways. And so, I mean, yeah, you have days where you roll through there. I mean, it's literally almost every cast, like somebody is hooked up. Like, it's just complete chaos. It's awesome. It's awesome. But like, awesome. It's the best. Like, I pull up to that spot, like set the boat down, and it's like, okay, get them out there, guys. And just like, bam, bam, bam. Like, it makes it so easy, like it's a guy's dream. And this year was really, really good. Last year was like tremendous as well. The year prior to that was like not all that good. So it was just, I sort of expected this year to be slower, but it was rocking the whole time. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I could have fished up there another 2 weeks probably. Like, I was happy to come home, but it was that good,
Dang, did you explore any spots this year? Do anything weird where you're like, I've never done this in the 5 years I've been there? And it doesn't even need to be a fishing related thing, but I've never done this in the five years I've worked there.
Yeah, I did. That's the nice thing when the fishing's really good. You can find new spots because there's no pressure, Yeah. So like, I found all kinds of like weird shit, little back channel eddies, like just little oddball stuff where I was like, I've never been here before. Let me just like run my boat in here once. Yeah, I'm gonna idle in, and let's just see it. And then sure enough, there's fish there. The silvers, they love like frog water. They love like calm, like slack stuff. Like, they just load up for whatever. They're like, it's like sort of they're almost like bass in a sense, it's like the bass version of a salmon, or the salmon version of a bass. Like, they're very similar in that they just like sitting in this like really slow, like shallow water, and they'll eat top water too. I've got them to do it a few times, like not often, but they'll eat like a spook. They'll eat a spook. Like, they will eat it. If there's enough of them there, they will eat it. And
that's
like
sick.
They're like smallmouth in that if you hook one, there'll be like 2 or 3 like following behind it. Like it's like bass fishing for salmon. It's like crazy when there's a lot of them. If there's only a few, like, they won't do that. But if you get into a spot where they're loaded, and when they're loaded because you'll see them rolling. I mean, it's nuts. You get spooks and like not so much. Well, poppers. Yeah, I've gotten them on poppers before. Like, personally, like, it's not something you're going to catch a lot of them on.
Yeah.
I won't have the clients do it, but just like myself, or like skating a big dry fly, they'll eat it. They're sick. They're awesome, So And we caught a bunch of chums too. And this year was a pink salmon year, which the pinks are like, you catch a bazillion of those, you know? So it was just a lot
Did
of
you just
action.
hammer down on those pinks or what?
Yeah, I hate those things though. I mean, they're nice to have. They're nice to have if the silver fishing isn't good, but other than that, they're just a nuisance, you know, because we don't keep them. Their meat isn't very good. So like, then you gotta like, you know, you got 3 fish on, and like if 2 of them are pinks, you know, you're like, fuck, you know, you got to tend to the silver, and then you got to lean over and try to unhook them. But it's a bent rod, and that's what I tell all the clients too. Like,
I'm gonna tell you what, you take my ass there, we're clubbing them.
no, we would never keep one.
Yep.
Ryan.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
I'd let you cut one so you could see how fast your knife goes through its fucking backbone. I mean, I've had to clean a few of them, but yeah, chums. And then the first couple weeks I'm there, I'm catching kings too, you know, sporadically. So it's a really awesome fishery. I couldn't recommend it to anybody enough. If you're a bass angler and want to experience Alaska, come to the Nushagak River in August because it's so similar. Like, we're throwing spinners, but you might as well be like throwing a spinner bait for bass. I mean,
you could probably throw a chatterbait at them.
Oh, they'd eat it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they'd eat it. No doubt they'd eat it. 100%. Like, I mean, we catch them on jigs, you know, like twitching a jig, like casting a big, like, you know, like a hair jig, like marabou, or anything pink. Cast that thing upstream. The current's moving pretty good, but cast it upstream, and then you just twitch it like this all the way down. And you're just yo-yoing it, right? And like all of a sudden you lift up and like wham. They always hit it on the fall. So it's like boom. I mean, if you're a good bass fisherman, you can whack them on a jig, like crush them. But most people aren't like really good at that. But it's epic. It's so worth visiting, and it's reasonable for Alaska. Like if anybody's looking to book a trip to Alaska, this place I work, for what you get, it's very, very reasonable compared to a lot of these lodges that are charging $14,000 per person for a week. We're not even close to that. You know, a third of that is what we're charging.
So give us a breakdown. Like, where are you staying at? Is it like a cabin, or like what's the setup?
Yeah. So the lodge that I work for is called Nushagak River Adventures. It's fishthenoosh.com, N-U-S-H, Fish the Noosh. The guy that I work for, Pete is his name, is like the world's best boss. He bought this place 8 years ago. He was a former client there. The lodge went into bankruptcy. All the guys got together. They got a hold of Pete. Pete's got a very successful business in the lower 48 and said, we're not getting paid, you know, whatever. He bought this place out of bankruptcy, tore down every single building that was on it, rebuilt it from the ground up, and really gives a shit about the fishery and his guides. And I mean, it's first class all the way. I mean, it's the nicest lodge on the Nushagak, no doubt, and one of the nicest ones in all of Bristol Bay. And he doesn't charge what he could charge, you know, 2 times as much as what he is, but it's just his passion. I mean, he just really loves it, you know, and like, he's not in it for the money, you know. I mean, he just really likes doing it. So it's great spot. I couldn't speak more highly of it. I mean, I've been to a lot of places in Alaska, and most places are held together with duct tape and WD-40, and this place is not, you know. I mean, everything works, which is really nice, you know. So you guys are digging. You guys should come next
I know,
year.
dude. We need to come.
I think we should, dude.
It's
we'll nush it up.
And we can talk particulars after, you know, but like, it's not crazy expensive. It's not as expensive as like maybe you might think, you know, like it's spendy, but it's so worth it, I think. So
Ryan,
we're gonna have a hell of a schedule once we go back to back. We'll be like Argentina, Nush, like then we got to go to the, you know, all kinds of places. But I like that.
It's awesome. I can't, like I said, for a bass fisherman, silver salmon are like the equivalent of like maybe a smallmouth or something on steroids. You know, I mean, they jump, they pull, like they eat it, however you want to put it in front of them. So I love it. But
so what was like? Give us one. Like, what was the most notable fish catch of the trip?
The most notable one that really sticks out without hesitation is I fished this guy. His name is Ben. He was 92 years old.
Dude.
92. And this guy, I mean, he was the most impressive dude I think I've ever fished with. I remember looking at the schedule and I saw his age, and I fished with him for 2 days. I was like, man, this is going to be a challenge because it's an involved fishery. You're casting, right? I mean, you got to be able to cast it out and retrieve it, you know? And that guy got off the plane. I mean, without a hitch in his step. I mean, he was in better shape than most 70-year-olds that I fish. And so we're fishing with Ben on the second day I fished with him. And he couldn't stand and cast, but he could sit and cast, no problem, you know? And he hooks this fish, and it's a big one, you know? And it's like 10, 11 pounder, and it's jumping and stuff, and he's fighting it. And he could never really see him because he was sitting down, you know? And the fish just like beeline towards the boat. And I'm like, Ben, reel. He's like, got off. And I was like, no, just keep reeling. And the fish just is running towards the boat, and it launches out of the boat, and it jumps over the gunnel and lands right at his feet. I mean,
no way.
Perfect. Perfect.
What did he say about that?
He looks at me and goes, well, that was pretty cool, huh? I mean, he's been fishing in Alaska for like 40 years. I mean, he was just an awesome guy. But that was amazing. And to share it with a guy like that, I was so impressed. If I'm 92 and doing what he can do, like, I mean, he's there with his son, but Pete, my boss, was telling me that guy, like, he books the trips, like he does all the communication. He's 92. Wow, like, I mean, he flew fighter jets in Korea. Like, this guy, I mean, he's the real deal. And he counted every single fish. So at the end of the day, like, I never count them, but he could tell you how many fish he caught, how many silvers, how many pinks. Like, I mean, he just was so sharp mentally.
Yeah.
It was cool because I was like, man, this is something to aspire to, you know, and a great guy on top of that. But that was for sure the most, because I've only had one other fish do that. It was a couple years ago that actually jumped into the boat. But like, for it to happen to that guy, it was pretty special. You know, it was really, really cool. So
92. That's unreal.
92. And he's already booked for next year. He's coming back.
I love it.
Back. Yeah.
Oh, that is wicked though. Being able to like fish with somebody like that though.
Yeah. Oh, it was so cool. I mean, that guy's seen more, caught more, killed more. He's a big hunter too than most people collectively, you know. I mean, I
bet he's got some stories, dude. Holy cow.
Oh yeah. He had like crazy stuff happen to him, you know, like bear charges. And I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And
like realistically,
but he's still doing it.
He's probably fished more than 80 years. Like, say he started fishing at 12, which he probably back in his time, I bet he was fishing when he was 5, 6 years old. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
He's fished for damn near a century, which is amazing. He was telling me when he first came to Alaska, which was like 45 years ago. I mean, the only thing you had to go off of was like an advertisement in like Field and Stream or something, you know? Can you imagine booking a trip to Alaska, some far off place, and like you see like a little clipping in a magazine, and then you call a number and you talk to somebody and they say, oh yeah, the fishing's good, you know, and then you just
come on up.
You go up there. I mean, we're so spoiled now that we have all this access to information, you know, like crazy. And he's fished like almost every single river in Alaska. Like, I was asking him, I mean, he fished everywhere, all over Bristol Bay. I mean, north of there, like he's caught she-fish, which are really cool. I don't know if you guys have seen she-fish before.
Yeah, they are sick.
Cool. They look like a tarpon kind of. He's done it all. And I mean, like, most of that was pre-internet, you know. I'm like, God, that's unreal. Just get up and go, I think, is really impressive. So that was the highlight. He was the highlight of my whole season. That guy was amazing. I'll never forget him. And I'm excited to fish them next year. 93, we'll do it again, you know.
Damn.
I just hope the fishing is as good, because if it's not as good, he's going to let me hear it, you know?
He's gonna,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like he definitely will, you know? So yeah, shout out to Ben. So it was a good season up there. I had a lot of fun, and, you know, happy to be back for sure, but it was fun.
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll have to get into some other stories. I'm sure once you like chill out for a little bit, maybe on the next pod, we'll hit a few more from that trip, just because it's like, I feel like so much happens on those type of trips. It's hard to just like think about it all at one go. But like, I think for a lot of people, that's like a bucket list type trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, you know, something they might do just one time. Yeah. So like hearing some of those firsthand, I think would be pretty sick. Yeah. But damn, dude.
yeah, no, when I heard you were going up there again, I'm always like kind of jealous of that. I'm like, God, dude, that's gonna be so fun, and getting to spend that kind of time there is wicked. Like not just like a week, you know.
Yeah, no, a month is about perfect. I used to do the whole season up there, and now I'm happy with just a month. Like that's about the right amount of time, I think, guiding. You know, it's awesome, but it's the weather and it's a lot of work. But you know, I'm really happy with where I'm at now for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, you boys want to get into anything else tonight? I feel like we got to at least save a few of these stories for when Barty Boy comes back.
Yes.
Yeah. And right now Bart he's currently practicing for the Bassmaster Open on Leech Lake, kind of right in his backyard.
Oh, there's an Open on Leech?
Yeah, first time an Open has been in Minnesota in a long, long time.
Wow.
Yeah, so Bart's up there on Leech, hopefully tearing it down. If he wins, he's going to the Classic.
And
if he doesn't,
let us remind everyone that if he does win, he's still on the hook to get a 4PF tattoo.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Tat him up. Let's tat him up.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a fun one to watch because I think there's a lot of local guys that we know in it.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be exciting to see. I think some of those guys are gonna do really, really good. And I'm pumped to at least see some of the coverage of it. I don't know how much like live they do on those Opens, but I think there's some.
I hope they do. Yeah, I hope they do at least a day or 2 days worth of live because you're gonna see dudes flipping rice. You're gonna see dudes.
What do you think's gonna win? Do you think smallmouth or largemouth will win?
Based on what, so I talked to Bart about it a little bit, and I
Yeah.
feel like he's got a good handle on kind of like what it's going to take and everything. And he thought that you'd probably have to have one largemouth in your bag, but he
Okay.
thought if you could catch all smallmouth, you would definitely win. So I don't know if maybe
what are the boundaries of the lake? Can you fish?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm assuming anywhere you can probably get, right? I don't know.
I would assume. Yeah, if it's connected to water, I would assume they're not going
Yeah.
to cut it.
Yeah.
Especially
Why
to
you
spread
got
those
some
guys out.
secret sauce people should be running to?
No, I'm just curious. That's all. There is a you guys know about it. There's another place you can get to.
He's sitting on a little spot. Oh, I got a little spot. You know?
You have to go underneath the real like kind of tight bridge and get into kind of a different body of water. But I wonder if that is off limits. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. I have to look up the tournament page to see. But
That would be cool.
yeah.
I didn't know this. I didn't know that there was an Open on Leech. That's great for Walker. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess the town is making it like a big deal. Like they're putting like a, you know, the town is hosting a bunch of events surrounding the weigh-in to kind of like really hype it up for the anglers and like do some stuff. So I think they might have some concerts and stuff like it's going to be like a big deal up there.
Oh,
That's cool.
Reed's Sporting Goods is going to absolutely crush it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the rich get richer there for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully next time we record, we got Hunter and Bart back, and we'll have the full squad on. I hope, but we'll kind of see what happens here. But yeah, damn boys, we really got into her here.
Awesome pod, and for it to start out with a freaking beautiful lower 40s muskie hitting a chatterbait, whack. Oh, let me start the recording. Boop. Yeah, we're hooked up. Oh, on what? A freaking ski. Full moon, baby.
Yeah.
Full moon, baby.
That was gangster, Ryan.
That was awesome.
Right on.
That was so gangster.
Put the team on my butt.
You did. You did.
You did.
Yeah. Right on, boys. Well, this was a fun one. If you made it this far, thank you for listening all the way to the end. If you're still listening to this on any podcast platforms, please rate, subscribe to this podcast anywhere you're listening. We're trying to get this thing even bigger than it already is. Hard to keep going up from number one, but what can I say? We're greedy.
It's lonely at the top, nightmares at the bottom, you know?
So thanks again for listening to another episode of Pass the Barb, and we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.